Hi, I'm Brian from EZ4x4. Today I'm going to show you how to install the flip top on your Bronco. And we're going to start here. The first thing we're going to do, I just laid them out really quick. What I'm going to do is just put a little tape here. And what this is for is to show me where I have to clean. And this way I make sure I get everything. Now that I put the tape on here, we're all set to go. Now I'm going to pull them off. And start the process. We're going to clean all the low areas, and what we're going to use is lacquer thinner. We're going to do it 5 or 6 times, and the reason why we're doing that is to get the wax off so we can get real good adherence. And we're going to start like this. This is one of our original Bronco tops, so it's got a couple scratches and stuff like that on it. The important thing is that you clean it very well to make sure you get the wax off. So we're going to clean it 5 or 6 times in the areas between the tape to make sure it squeaks. And the squeaking sounds like this. So once it's clean, especially after the 3rd or 4th time, you should start hearing it. And that's what you'll start hearing. And that's how you know that the wax is off and the surface is clean. We recommend using lacquer thinner. It takes the wax off and doesn't damage the hardtop. In your box, you're going to get a little bottle like this. Okay, open it up and you're going to pull out your primer. Okay. Keep it far away from you so you don't knock it down. And use it sparingly. So what I'm going to do is wet the rag and the most important areas of this are these front areas right here. Okay, then we're going to go around and do the rest. Primer 94 is a bonding agent that helps the panels stick to the hardtop. You should have more than enough. Just use the same part of the rag so it's not absorbed. And I've hit everything. Okay. Now that we've done the primer 94, we're going to let it sit for a couple minutes just so it dries. And move on to the next step. And we're ready to go. So you'll notice that the brackets are offset. You'll see this one's thicker, this one's thinner. It's because the hardtops sometimes aren't aligned, you know, depending on the production. So we put a little gap here, so when you flip this down, it doesn't hit one of the edges. And the offset area is made so there's a little gap right here, so when you put it down, it goes down evenly and doesn't hit this edge. In your box, you're going to find 3 templates. This template is for installation. These templates is for you decide in the future that you want to bolt it down. So put these away for a rainy day, and if needed, you have them. So there is a left and a right. You're going to see the 2 notches right here, and they actually will be facing each other. That's how you know you have them oriented correctly. Then we're going to flip this back right here. We're going to take this corner of the hinge and push it so it's touching this side, so it's touching this side, or as close as possible. And we're going to match the edge of the hardtop right here. An easy way to do that, okay, and just make sure it's in place. Flip this one down, make sure it's in place. Okay, and that's how this goes. We're going to make sure that this edge is close to here. This edge is as close as you can to here, okay? Okay, and that will keep this here also. We're only going to tape one side because we're going to be taking this side off when we stick it down. One of the other things you're going to do is these 3 screws and these 6 screws. You're just going to loosen them like a half a turn so it moves like this. After that's done, you're actually ready to stick it down. This area right here is open. This is touching the hardtop edge, the higher edge. This is touching the higher edge. This area is open, and they should be facing each other with an open area right here, touching over here. And that's how you know you have them correct. Now that these are all the proper location, we're gonna do one at a time. We're gonna take this one up, and I'm gonna pull this off. I want to make sure I don't drop it down by mistake. So you're going to find the edge right here. You're going to push against here. You're going to find the edge right here. And before you drop it down, you're going to make it as square as possible. It's touching the edge right here. It's right close to the rubber and parallel to the rubber edge. And then we're just going to drop it down just like that. Okay. We're going to take this one and do this one next, and we're going to do the identical process on the other side. I make a little cut, pull this off, it works real easy. Now I'm going to lift this up a little, put it right to the edge as best as I can. And if I make a mistake, it's easy enough to just pull it back up. Okay. And as soon as I have it right, and this is parallel right here, I'm just gonna move my finger and drop it down like that. It's important that you're not riding this edge, you know, so it's higher. Because we actually install a hardtop on the Bronco, when it's locked down, when we flip it back and bring it forward, it always goes into location. So it's not important that it's 100% exactly perfect, okay? It's important that you make it stick properly and get it as close as you can, because every time it goes back to the same location. Like, again, these are adjustable, and I'm gonna show you how to set that up afterwards. So now I'm gonna do this side and do the same process. I'm gonna make sure my fingers are here so I can't drop it by mistake. I'm gonna put this here and set it in location. And this ensures the hinges are pretty much equal. Okay. Then I'm just going to put a little pressure on this for now. I'm going to put my hand on this side. And we're going to stick it down. Now that we've stuck it down, we're going to take it and we're going to adjust it to the position in the slots that gets the plate as close as you can to the hardtop. Hold it and snug it up. And when you're putting these plates and snugging this up, just make sure you eye it and try to get it parallel to the slot here. So we don't want it to be like this. We want to make sure it's parallel. You'll see that it sticks up a little here. When you pull the tape off and stick it down, it levels out. Now we're going to pull it off. Drop it down and push down. Same thing here. And you got to make sure also that you didn't touch this area because we use primer on it. We don't want the grease from our hands going on the rooftop. Now that we have this complete, we're just going to stand out on a minute. You can kneel on it just to make sure that the glue binds to the rooftop, especially the hinge area. And it's important that this job is done in 70-degree weather. Today, there's a little snow out there, but it's actually really hot. And tonight, I'm gonna be taking this and putting it in the garage so it cures in the heat. Now, even if one of the hinges is a 1/16 of an inch off, something like that, it still folds back and forth perfectly. So you don't have to worry about that. Now that we've completed the front section, we're gonna move on to the back locking mechanism. So now that the flip top installation is complete, we're gonna take the panels and flip them back and just prop them up with a box or a pillow. I use tape, okay, so you can work in this area. So I'm gonna clean the area with lacquer thinner. And you notice it's squeaking already because I've cleaned it 5 or 6 times already. We're gonna clean it one more time just to make sure. I've upgraded my roll of tape so I can give myself a little more room to work here. I'm putting it about 1/4 of an inch away from this edge. It's about 1/4 of an inch away from this edge. And that's about how accurate you have to be. If it's here, it's okay. If it's here, it's okay. But just to make it symmetrical, I'm keeping it 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. This is the important one. And I'm gonna take some primer with a new rag, clean this area, and then I'm gonna let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes so it can dry. In the meantime, I'll prepare the other side. Here, so I'm preparing this one. We're gonna do the identical thing on this side. And you can hear it squeaking. I've cleaned this 5 or 6 times already, and that's ready. Now I'm gonna put the primer 94 on this. So now that we've let this side dry, we're gonna take the razor knife, make sure you don't put your hands there. Cut it. I've actually turned into a professional tape peeler, okay? And the important thing is keep your hands, keep your fingers a little lower than the bracket so it never really touches the ground. You're gonna get it as close as you can to 1/4 of an inch from each corner. From right here, this edge right here, and just drop it down. That's it. Again, if you're a little off, it's fine because this is totally adjustable. It's adjustable here, and these are adjustable right here to align with your roof panels. So now we're gonna push down. So what we're gonna do is push on it as hard as we can to make sure these adhere like the front panels. And I'm gonna put all my weight on it. Push on it for 30 seconds. Now that we have this done, we're gonna adjust the locks. You'll notice they're actually sitting on the rubber bumpers. We're gonna pull this back right here and adjust them. Just put a little pressure on it with your hand and snug the screws. I'm gonna do this side. I'm going to loosen these screws up just a little, pull this back, push down a little. And we're going to snug them up. We're not going to tighten them now. These adjustments ensure that it doesn't rattle while you're driving. If you notice it's tighter here than here, we could actually twist this clamp so it's even. And the way you do that, then we're gonna loosen these right here. And you'll notice they turn, okay? So now we're gonna take our bracket, pull this back, twist it a little, make sure they're even on both sides. Pull it back, lift it up. We'll pull it back carefully. And you can see they're not totally even here. That's because we made the adjustment. Snug it up and try it again. And you'll see it's equal on both sides. Now we're going to adjust the other side. Test it, make sure it's on tight, doesn't move, and the installation is complete. Okay. I'm gonna test this out. Now that the flip top's complete, it needs to set for at least 24 hours in the closed position. After that, you can open it, use it, and enjoy it. So as you bring it over, bring it around 3 inches or 4 inches down and just drop it in, and it sets the pin in location. Thanks for joining me. I'm Brian from EZ4x4. Enjoy your flip top, and any questions, feel free to give us a call and we can help you out.